Alyssa Butler, founder and CEO of The Lit Bar, and I'm so pleased to be in community with my two guests. They're two women who I admire greatly. First, we have the founder and CEO of Curlbox, a woman who inspires us on everything from mindset to new cooking recipes. First of all, thank you, Myleik Teele, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And without further ado, I'm incredibly excited to introduce someone who needs absolutely no introduction, an award-winning actress, owner of TPH by Taraji, a writer, and the founder of the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, Taraji P. Henson.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Taraji. Y'all look so cute.
So do you.
One of the things that all of us have in common is the ability for us to just be us and unapologetically. And that's something that I admire from both of you. And I want to know how it's helped your career and if any ways, if it's hurt.
You know, I'm an actress. I wear many different masks, but when it comes to being Taraji, I'm going to be who I am. I'm never going to change that. And I felt like in the beginning of the industry, that's kind of what was expected of me, like to speak a certain way or to hide my edge or to hide the fact of where I came from. But to me, I just kept fighting a good fight and I kept using my voice just the way it sounds because representation is everything. Representation matters. And I knew that my voice would ring loud and true one day. And I knew that's why I fought because I didn't see as a lot of representation of this edgy girl. You know what I mean? It was like, it's a lot of us out here with different stories to tell. We all look different. So, you know, I just think going to an HBCU helped me develop that vibrato that I know who I am and you're not going to tell me who I am.
Shout out to the HBCU. Shout out to Howard. Shout out to FAMU. Myleik.
Yes.
How has it helped you?
Similar to Taraji, I felt the same way. Growing up in Inglewood, California, I felt like there was only one sort of Black girl that was marketed to us as kids that didn't look like me. I had a lot of confidence as a kid. And I thought I was good. And I was just like, you know what? I am going to be myself because I think I'm great. And by doing that, the hope is that more women get permission to be themselves because we need a world that has diverse Black voices and Black beauty. And we are so beautiful across like a range. And so I'm just going to be myself unapologetically. You know, people always say, how did you get so confident? But like, why are you so confident? And that's the part that was really scary to me is the expectation that I shouldn't be confident. And so it's like, I'm going to show who I am. And it has been nothing but benefited me. You know, I think in times where people disagree or they don't like it, I think that's for them to explore, not me.
Oh, I love that. So you mentioned something that I think is the entire reason that I started the Lit Bar, this idea of there being a certain type of Black woman or a certain type of Black girl. And it wasn't actually until I went to FAMU that I learned about the diversity of Black people. I thought that all Black people were like me or like the people I was around in Detroit. And then when I got to FAMU, I'm like, wait. And so that's when I really learned like how important representation is. So my next question is like, obviously it's trendy right now to be a Black woman. Like I think being Black is in vogue. Everybody cares about Black customers. And how do you think that this is changing the beauty industry? And do you think it's going to last?
I could be wrong, but for some strange reason, I feel like this is going to be lasting change. Because they are now hiring every week. I'm seeing diversity hires. And once somebody starts to hire diversely, it's really hard to get rid of all of these people and all of these hires and getting the right people in the rooms, asking the right questions, you know, and considering us. You know, the main reason that I even got into this business, I did an internship. Essence Magazine sponsored me for an internship in an attempt to get more young Black girls in beauty. And I did the internship. Nobody ever called me back. I never got a job, you know, and so I ended up having to create my own thing. But now I'm looking at people in jobs that I would have liked to have done. So, I think some people not believing, similar to what you just said, yes, I create things for Black women, but these things can be used for everyone, and them understanding that everything doesn't have to be so segmented.
And just because you have a Black woman at the forefront of your advertising doesn't mean that a white woman or, a Latinx woman or, red, blue, black, green, purple woman can't buy it. And my mind is always boggled by that. It's like when you see a Black woman, if you're not a Black woman, you just automatically stop and you're like, oh, that's not for me. But we don't shop like that. Black women don't typically shop like that. And I hope that it's a permanent shift in the industry and the consumer's minds, because that's the only way as Black business owners, we're really going to be able to like penetrate the mass market.
And I think that has happened because we have been ignored for so long. We have been ignored so we have had to make do with the things that were on the market that didn't necessarily answer the issues that we were having with hair, skin, color. We just had to make do to a point till we got to a place where we were like, enough of this, I'm going to create it. We've been doing this since slavery. We've been brought here with nothing. We've never had nothing since we were brought here, and everything we've had to create. That's why it's no big surprise when we come to this 28 days of Black History Month. And someone goes, a Black person invented that. I'm like, yeah, of course. We didn't have nothing. We had to invent everything. But what hurts my feelings most is that now the larger businesses see the market that they have missed for so long that they jumping in. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that.
Right.
Because I don't trust you.
Yep.
You never, ever paid attention. We were saying stuff all along. It's not like we're quiet, meek people. We speak up. No one listens. So we created this carved out our own slice of pie in this industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I love to see it. I want to see more of us in it because there's so much. It's like we were backed up.
Yeah.
That everyone is talking about Black beauty. How has it like made you change your business or even your relationship to the beauty industry? Has it impacted you at all?
I just go hard and I make sure I promote every Black business, something. I don't care if you give me this and it's Black owned, I'm going to promote it. Because now that I'm in the bit, I know how hard it is. You know what I mean? I know that my little business compared to, I'm not going to drop any names because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm picking on them. But the larger brands that have commercials and things like that, that's years and years and years of building customer base, right? So I know how hard it is, and I just want to help because I want to see everybody. I mean, that's your heart, that's all your money. Remember, Melissa, you was talking about when you first started, you were pouring your entire money, your savings,
every dollar.
You know what I'm saying? So I just like to support when and wherever I can. Anytime I'm in the store and I see something Black, I buy it. I don't care. I don't know if it works or not. I just know we need each other.
And I don't know, like I know the audience probably, they don't know this about you, but I can say for a fact that when she says that she is all about supporting Black businesses, like I am a testament to that. Like I'm going to just really quickly, I randomly met Taraji with her makeup artist, Ashanta Sharif. Me and Ashanta, we were supposed to have a lunch or something. And she's like, oh, my bad. I got to do T's makeup. Just stop by. I'm like, stop by? Stop by where? She's like, just come to her hotel. It's cool. I'm like, are you sure? I was so like taken aback. I'm just randomly, I remember pacing on the streets of New York City, going in circles like, is she serious? Am I supposed to go over there? I don't even have anything. I'm supposed to stop and get wine. Like I'm questioning every single thing. Cause like my mama taught me that when you go over somebody's house, you got to come with a gift. You need to have some wine. You need to have something in hand. And so I show up with nothing and I'm just so embarrassed. And I was just awestruck by your kindness and literally your true authenticity, not what we see on stage, not when we see you on Instagram. It was just like real life, no cameras. And since then you've been supporting me. And so I wanted to just pause and say that you are true to exactly what you say. And I think that the culture deeply benefits from that. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is what we used to do back in the day before segregation. This is how our communities thrive. I mean, before integration, this is how our communities thrived. We bartered. We we relied on each other, and I think that's what we're starting to see. It's not like we have to be in one community anymore. Now with the internet, we can support each other in ways that we couldn't before. And I think that's what we're seeing, the rise of that, Black community again.
Yeah, it's so funny because I feel like within our community, we love to romanticize like Black Wall Street, and we tell the Tulsa story, and obviously it's tragically beautiful, right? But I think that it's happening again right now. I think it's happening right in front of us. Like there's such a strong sense of community. I can't tell you the amount of people who have approached my store, or when we're at trade shows, like the first question they ask is this Black owned? And then once they find out, they're like, oh, okay, I'm shopping. So I think it's happening right now. Yeah. And to your point, we don't need a certain location. We don't have to have a certain city. We're global. We're seeing it happen all over the continent. We're seeing it all happening all across the US. And so I'm just proud that all of us are a part of that. And since
the need for this abroad, because I'm sure you're getting it too. People are from London, from Africa, from all of, when is it coming here? When are you coming here? So the need, I'm telling you, we have been in deficit for so long that, like I said, the need has been a backup. And so now every product that a Black person comes, we're going to soak it up because the need has just been there.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, we've been making products forever, and we have, like you said, been figuring it out for forever. But technology, the apps, you can put together a business in less than 24 hours now. Put your own labels on it, send it out, Google how to do it. If you're not sure how to ship to Ghana, I can tell you in about 2 minutes, you can make it happen. Find your own bottles, you can make it happen. And that's what's most exciting to me about where we are, is that everyone is getting a chance to get their ideas off. I launched my business on Instagram nearly a decade ago. It's like my background is in PR, and it's like, you know what? If you don't want to cover me in your magazine and you don't want to put me on TV, I'll make this thing rain on my own. You know what I mean? Like,
and look at the circles you're in. Look at the circles you're in. It's crazy. Like, it's like, like the rappers, they don't need the record industries anymore. Like, bye.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Black people, we will always find a way.
We will always.
I'm curious to know where you all think hair care for the multicultural audience is going. I think a lot of people are dibbling and dabbling into the space, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on it.
My business exists and is able to exist because the products are constantly coming. The flood has not stopped, and people are now recognizing our ability. Just Black women consume. We even when we love something, we're still searching. We are never satisfied as a consumer. It's like, I know this works on my hair. I do love this, but what about this too? And so I'm looking forward most to the innovation. And truthfully, Taraji, that's what excites me most about your products. These products are just, they're beautiful. They're considered. And I think more than anything, Black women, I have for years, I want to go on vacation and pull my hair stuff out, and it looks just as fire as my non-Black sister. Like, I want my shampoo to not be looking like, medicine and
99-cent bottles, 99-cent store.
like struggle, I don't want my beauty regimen shouldn't feel like struggle. And I was like, this is beautiful. And it's innovative, and it's thoughtful, and it's considered. And I really do think that you are raising the bar. You are forcing people to care and to try harder, because they should, because Black women spend more money on hair products and services than anyone, than anyone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and for me too, it's also about changing the narrative because
Mhm.
I don't want us to feel like it's a hassle or a chore to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
I know we have many steps to take care of our hair, but let's change the narrative. Let's
Mhm.
turn that wash day into self-care day. You
Mhm.
know, let's start with the scalp. You have a regimen for your face. You need a regimen for your scalp. It's not about a tonic or a serum. And this is not a dig to
Right.
any other brand. It's literally about, for me, it was about education, right?
Mhm.
'Cause anybody, especially celebrities, we can slap our names on something and sell it.
Easy.
But that's not where I operate from. Anything I do is comes organic because I have to sell it and I can act on film. I can't act in real life. So if I have to sell it, I have to believe in it. And so for me, in the way and why I created the bottles, because I like art, I love bathroom art. I'm the girl who will buy something. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but it's pretty and black owned. I'm gonna get it because it just looks pretty and I just want it. And so why can't our hair stuff look like that? Why can't it look beautiful how the outcome looks when we're done?
Yep.
You know, and I think like sometimes it's visual stimulation too, right? So it's like, oh my God, like your stuff, Melissa, is beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
The packaging is just beautiful. So it makes me want to go beat my face knowing I ain't got nowhere to go. It
Nowhere
just,
to go.
it just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted with TPH. I wanted people to feel hopefully how they feel when they come see my movies. They feel good. I wanted that to just bleed over right into my products. But again, that was from a real problem I was having that I found my own solution to because it didn't exist. Not that it didn't exist, maybe it did. Now again, I don't want to like dig on anybody else's brand and hard hustle, but the education just wasn't there. Maybe the
Yeah.
product was there, but no one taught me and showed me, hey, when you have an install, you need to do this to your scalp so your hair can thrive. So
Right. So, Taraji, you mentioned this idea of being able to take care of ourselves.
yes.
And I'm going to be completely honest in that COVID taught me that I wasn't taking care of myself in 2019.
Yeah.
Like that was my biggest lesson. I'm telling you, I was on planes, probably similar to y'all. I was on planes every single week. I was eating out often, never really cooking, not really being in constant community with my friends and family, all for what? For the sake of money, for the sake of business is incredibly difficult. So I just want to know, how are you all taking care of yourselves and showing up for yourselves?
I say no a lot.
That's your go-to.
Okay.
You know what's crazy is that nobody takes care of me better than me, to the
Mm.
point where people might find it as a little bit obnoxious, but I don't care because this is my one life. And so I indulge myself, I indulge my senses, whatever I want to do, I do. The only thing for me has been I have two kids in almost 2 years. So I've spent the last 3, 4 years either pregnant or having a baby. And so self-care, yes, crazy. I was like, every morning I wake up like, what was I thinking? Um, I decided to the ninth hour to have kids. And so now it's really just about finding myself in all of this. It's just COVID was difficult because I am good at indulging myself in the tiniest moments. A first class flight, the glass of wine, a magazine, a book, land, dinner with friends, and now I'm like, oh, what do I do? I'm stuck at home with my kids. I can't get a little escape, but reading has been good for me. This kind of connecting with people, seeing faces, seeing reactions has been good. But I'm holding up as best I can and just looking forward. This can't last forever. We know that.
Right. And we don't want it to. But I think it was like that little shake that we all needed to say, like, hold up, chill out. Yeah. We needed that reset. Absolutely. And Taraji, like, obviously you've been working incredibly hard to bring mental health to the forefront of our community, which is something that we don't talk about enough. And it's something that we really need to spend time on. Now that you've opened up and been okay with being a little bit more vulnerable, how has that changed your life or changed your community in this like world of slowing down a little bit?
I mean, it's funny because people the interviews, the requests for interviews is like I'm all of a sudden this mental health guru, and it's like, whoa, I'm no doctor. I'm no
Right.
doctor. I don't, but I saw a lack. I saw where we were hurting. I saw where I was hurting, and I have all the resources to pay for whoever, what to who. But it was still a challenge. And for someone who has the resources, I'm an empath. I started thinking about the community and about all the hundreds of millions of people who can't afford. So I had to do something about it. And I guess for me, I think I lost your question, and I don't want to babble. You're asking how has it changed?
Yeah, just being
It
vulnerable.
Yeah, it being vulnerable, knowing that vulnerability is where the strength is, but also it made me go harder for um mental health and for mental health in our community, because when I come across another grotesque stat that I didn't know about, it's like we got to sound the alarm even louder. We have to do more because our children are dying by suicide. I mean, those numbers spike. That's the one that I lose sleep over at night, knowing that 5-year-old children are out here contemplating life and death. That will never sit right with me. I will never be able to sit idly by and do nothing. So it has changed my hustle, because I thought my hustle was just in acting,
Mm,
but acting brought me here.
mm.
Acting made me famous so people could listen and
Right.
trust me. And
It was just the
so
platform.
that's how it's changed my life, and it's changed my life. Even how I deal with my TPH by Taraji brand. It's not just a shampoo and a conditioner. It's literally again another message of how to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Myleik, how are you keeping your mental intact, especially with like such an engaged community of women who, to Raji's point, almost look at you like the guru, like Myleik knows, My taught me. What does
Yeah.
that look like?
Yeah. I have been in therapy every single week for nearly a decade. And sometimes people go, because I feel like there's no finish line with it. I'm not a guru. I think what having that space for therapy has taught me is just I always have room to grow, like the journey, right? And I'm still gonna mess up. I still say the wrong thing. I've listened to something that I recorded like almost a decade ago. I was like, oh my God, I said that, That's awful. But I think, I think that, similar to you, I'm a huge fan of mental health, and I can afford it, and I have the access to it. But I'm not a guru by any means. I think the only thing that I'm here to do is to constantly say to people, it is okay to be a work in progress. Just the thought that hit me is that you can make mistakes and you don't have to hate or haze yourself for it. You don't even have to apologize sometimes, because everything we do doesn't warrant an apology. Sometimes, we're human. And I want to just continue to be an example of humanity. Flawed, wrong as hell some days.
Yeah, and we got to give ourselves that space to grow. It's like, even if you said something wrong, even if you made a mistake, it's okay. Now you have the opportunity to learn from it.
Totally.
One of the things I rely on so heavily is journaling. And when I find that I'm not journaling, I know that I'm avoiding like going inward. I'm
You don't
avoiding
want to
it.
say it.
And
You
it's
don't
like,
want to write it out. Yeah.
"Woo, Melissa, you need to put the pen to the paper and let it out. Like let that shit out, because otherwise it will eat you alive."
Yeah, and I think for our community is literally education, because we have pushed through and learned how to cope since slavery. We have taken on things like strong black woman,
Mhm.
black girl magic. Those things mask our true feelings. It dehumanizes us. It
Yep.
makes us seem like we're other, or we're fairies or magical and nothing affects us.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's why we have to be careful with terms like that. And I understand why we took that on, being black women at the bottom of the totem pole, at every corner you turn, every industry, right? But that was ours to make us feel good. But then when others take it on, they make it something else, right? That
Yeah.
dehumanizes us. And that's why we have to be very careful. So it's really education, because what we've learned to do is cope and push through our trauma, not deal, push through, because that's the armor we've had to wear. We don't even realize how often and how much of our pain and our trauma that we have normalized. It has been passed down. It's generational. We sing things to our children that slaves sang out of pure survival, but it has been passed down so much that we sing it to our babies, Rod, because our babies not even knowing that that's trauma.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
I just found out hush puppies were used by runaway slaves to keep the dogs off their trail.
Oh, wow.
And you can go to any soul food restaurant,
We
USA,
loving it.
and get you some hush puppies, because we've normalized it. Things that we don't even know we're normalizing. Or how do we own our power? The power that we know that we have, that everybody wants to suppress and hush and sweep under the carpet. How do we take it back and own it? And so that's why that term has evolved, because we need something, right?
Something.
Yeah, we're just trying to be connected in some form or fashion, to know that, like, we form these trauma bonds that say we're in it together, no matter how shitty it is.
Yes.
And I really want us to just stop accepting. I want us to stop accepting the bare minimum for the sake of being involved or being a party or being privy to information or a community. And this was something that I actually had to learn hard. Myleik is like, woo.
I'm like, in addition to stop accepting, I want people to stop giving us the minimum or feeling like that's what they should do. And that goes across the board. It's like, yes, I own this company. And it's like, don't just offer me the minimum because you think that's what I deserve. And that goes to everybody.
Yeah. That's why we just have to keep speaking out every chance we get.
Yes.
Even if you're not taught, and I want to challenge anyone in the audience who's listening to this, make sure that you're being open. Talk about what you make. Like, we've been taught to shun ourselves and shun how much we're getting paid from this employer or from this brand deal, for instance. And it's like, no, let's talk about it to make sure that everyone is being paid fairly.
Yeah.
When I worked in corporate America, like, I know that I was literally the lowest paid member on my desk. And it was simply because I was afraid to ask the black guy sitting next to me how much he made. So we have to decouple that fear in order to get to this place of not just accepting and being happy to be in the room.
You have to speak up. I remember I was trembling like shit. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say that. But I did an interview, and the first time I spoke out about how much I got paid, I was scared. But you know how they say, even if your voice trembles, speak
Say
your
it.
mind. Say it.
Yep.
And this was before the whole what was the main movement when pay equal rights, the whole equal payment, for women and all of that. This was before that. And I just remember the relief once I said it, because I was like, well, it's not a lie. I'm just speaking my truth. You know, we asked for $500,000. I know how much the other two got. They get 5 digits in the millions, right?
Right.
I wasn't even asking for $1 million. And so I needed to say that because it didn't make sense. I was number 3 on the call sheet. That didn't. So then when I broke it down, when I said how much I got paid, then you had people, mainly us, talking about, well, that's you being greedy because $150,000 is a lot of money. Well, let me break it down further for you.
Right.
Uncle Sam takes 50% of that.
Yeah.
Then I have 30% I have to pay to my team before taxes.
Right.
So you do the math. And I worked on that project for half the year and then had to go back for reshoots. And that's supposed to be what I make for the year. When I got a son who's in school and his tuition is $30,000 for high school, and I still got other bills. So I always would get, you always working. Well, guess what? Because I have to. I'm not getting paid. If I was getting paid $20 million a movie, shit, $10 million a movie, I could do one movie a year in jail.
Right.
But because I don't, that's why I have to work like this. It's not because I want to.
Right.
I have to, and then it's flipped around on me like you're the hardest working woman in the world. Like I want to. Don't do that to me.
Right.
Slap in my face. Let's talk about why I work so much. Black, we don't have the luxury of doing one movie a year and chilling. We don't. We're not getting paid like that.
Right.
I tell you, if I was a lighter hue, being on the number one show on broadcast television and wasn't the number one paid actress.
There are clear discrepancies. It's harder to run a business as a Black woman. I think oftentimes it's harder to serve if your customer base is Black women, because to Taraji's point, there's this idea of, well, that's too greedy. You already made it. I spent my business. I spent my hard earned money with you. I expect this. There's a conversation that we're not fully having within the Black community. First of all, where we need to make sure that when we're supporting each other, that support isn't dimensionalized by the fact that we're Black.
Like by calling us a Black movie. You're already setting us up for failure. You're already saying to some people who aren't Black, this movie isn't for you, because I don't wake up and go, I'm gonna go see a white movie today. Oh, you know what? There's this really good, cool movie about Asian people. I'm gonna go see that. I know because I see the trailer and it moves me. It either makes me want to come see what that story is about, or I go, I don't want to see that.
Or even I'm just trying to support a Black business. No, I want you to support the business because you love these products, because you love the value that I am providing.
Why do we always have to announce ourselves? You can already see we're Black. I mean, I don't have to say it.
So how do we work around it?
Having the same expectations that you have with a Black business as you have with anyone else. You know, if you go shop in a non-Black business and you don't like it, you're not getting online bashing it, you know, just this extreme that we go through with each other. It's just like, let's just not do that, or extend some more grace. Extend some more grace, because you know what? I'm not getting the same prices that so and so big company is getting. I'm not getting the same treatment that these people are getting. So extend some grace, because I'm working 10 times harder to be able to be on the shelf, or to be in the room, or to be wherever. So I think we just have to do that, and continue to educate our customers, be more transparent, show them the process, let them know when we are having hurdles. And like you said, Taraji explained, people don't know how the process works. And so you coming out and saying 150,000, that sounds like a lot until you broke it down, you know? So we have to continue to educate people on the disparity, for us to just show up each day. Like we're starting each day from the back, you know?
Behind the curve
Yeah.
every day. We're always expected to come to work with a bright smile and be happy about being behind the damn curve.
And you know it. I know I am.
I know it, and you know it.
And that's the thing. You know it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, ladies, my last question. First of all, I'm happy that we were just able to just let it out. I feel like this was one of the most honest conversations I've ever had, and I want to end with raising our vibration as high as possible. So I want to know, what's your intention for this year? You know, oftentimes, like when you set your goals and things, like you're thinking about things externally. You're like, I want to achieve this level of success, or I want to make this much money. And I started thinking like, okay, Melissa, well, what can you do internally? And I decided that personally this year that I would focus on just stillness for myself.
Yes.
I'm not going to try to optimize me. It doesn't mean that I don't want to grow, but it means that I don't have a goal for me this year other than just being present, being in the moment, and being okay with exactly who I am, where I am, what I am, etc. And I just wanted to remind you all that you are absolutely enough right now as you are.
Thank you. And congrats on Walmart, girl. You on your way, billionaire. Yeah, I guess for me it's mindfulness, continuing to practice mindfulness.
I just have like, I got off the sort of achievement train because I recognize that as a trauma response. Like when you were saying you're just going, winning, hitting marks. Can I get bigger and better? And I think that now, you know, the mindfulness, just enjoying the moment that I'm in, not trying to change it, not hoping that it's better, accepting everything as if I had decided it.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's what this pandemic is
Yeah.
trying to teach us all.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Acceptance, radical acceptance, as if I
Acceptance and
chose to be.
patience
Yeah. Yeah.
and gratitude.
And
Absolutely.
gratitude.
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 Totally.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. I had so much fun talking business, beauty, blackness, and
Yes.
everything in between. This conversation was sponsored by Cadillac. I want to thank everyone who made this possible. Especially thank you to Taraji and Myleik for making this conversation wonderful.
Thanks for including me.
Yes.
Of course.
It's a nice to meet you, Taraji, and good to
You
see you,
too. Just
Melissa.
keep doing your
Nice.
thing.
Yes. All right. Love y'all.